Hello guys, hello, welcome to the stream. What's up, Bretlands? Welcome in. I'm just going to be going over the event information for the 4th of July event, which is going to be Rocket Carnage. Just give me a second. I did have a quick look through it. It looks quite similar to the event that's going on right now for Julie. Quite some heavy requirements when it comes to the missions. That's not changed. There is quite a nice weapon attached to this event as well. So, yeah, we'll just get into the information right now. Hello survivors, and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a little sneak peek at the Rocket Carnage event. And in this event, you can get your hands on the character on the screen. It is Gold Mythic Stripes. If you want to check out this character, I have previewed her. She is pretty good, and she looks like she's going to be quite the potential meta character when it comes to taking towers in war. And obviously getting your hands on this character will be pretty interesting. I don't think you necessarily need to get all 5 copies of this character to be good. So this could be one of the first characters. I don't intentionally do 3. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have hopefully some more content on this in the future. But visually, obviously, looks kind of cool. It is as you see on the screen. Like I say, if you want to check out more information on this character, how she works, so on and so forth, check out that link in the top right hand corner. But we're going to go over the event. It is the Rocket Carnage event. This is the 4th of July celebration event, basically. And the intro says, attention survivors, get ready for an explosive event that's sure to light up the skies. It's time for Rocket Carnage. Collect bloody rockets from daily login calendar, roadmaps and weekly missions. Exchange bloody rockets in the grey market for Gold Mythic Stripes, 4th of July Desert Eagle weapon. That was that exclusive weapon I was talking about. And 4th of July Avatar, Paragon mods, and much more. The available dates, it starts today, 23rd of, no, not 23rd, 4th. So these American calendar dates always mess me up. It's the, oh wait, this isn't American calendar. Is this done, is this American calendar? I mean, it is American calendar. Okay, 4th of July, 2023, 5 PM Pacific time. Stop it. And it ends on the 25th of July, 2023 at 5 PM Pacific time. So it lasts just about 21 days, 3 weeks. So it's a little bit, around, I think it's a little bit less maybe than the Julie event. This is kind of a little overview of Rocket Carnage event character, which is Stripes. You get a little bit of the details. Like I said, if you want more details on the character, you have to check out my video. And here we go. This is the weapon. It actually looks pretty good. It's a 40% attack weapon. Huge bonus to AP. Improved self-healing when killing a target. A 60% chance to regain 100% HP. Gain 50% bonus HP and get 50% defense for 2 turns. And the last slot is going to be Ransack. So I believe this is potentially the first tough Ransack weapon. So that's actually pretty nice. It is more of an offensive weapon. I was trying to think of characters that could potentially use this, but I think you just put it in the hands of potentially someone like a Kira, honestly. And then you could ransack if you wanted to, you could defend if you wanted to, or you could, you know, do your signature move if you wanted to on a Kira. A couple more, like an extra option. And ransack is just actually pretty decent. Here is the Avatar, which is very interesting. Kind of fireworks going off in the background. And Stripes has just used her grenade launcher. A bit of a different art style than what we've seen. So like maybe a little bit of a fresh art style on these avatars. Looks pretty interesting, but no real attachment to this one. I'm going to be honest. It's not like the previous ones where it's been like actually I think last year's one was just a walker holding a cake, to be fair, so there was no real attachment there either. But we've had some really nice ones recently when it comes to like seeing characters in Days Gone on the avatars. It looked pretty good. There is a link to my preview on the blog itself, so if you want to check it out, you can check it out there, or you can just check it out on my channel. Now there is a daily login calendar where you're going to be able to get bloody rockets. This is the collection item, periodically getting an extra boost to 250, and it's going to last pretty much the entirety of the event. 3,600 bloody rockets total. This is enough to get 1 copy of the character just from logging in, just for your information. So if you are new to the game, or like you're someone who will struggle with some of these missions just due to time, or like I say, you're newer to the game so it's harder to hit some of these mission like requirements, this is not too bad. Especially, as I said, you don't necessarily need to get all 5 copies of this character to actually for her to be useful. So that's actually pretty good. There are roadmaps, which is pretty much what we've seen previously, they're going to require Mythics grade 1 to 8. They might start requiring a bit more defined stuff. So here it's going to be 3 Holiday Heroes. Then it's going to be 3 Skybound X2 or 3 Skybound X. They can actually have like 2 of one and 1 of the other. Then Mythics grade 6 to 8, which I believe is LB1 to LB3. Then 3 Road to Survival. Then some weird, it depreciates back down to grade 4, but you require Julie. Then Holiday Heroes. You need 5 of them, which is probably the only group where it's like 5 is not too bad. We get a ton of Holiday Heroes, honestly, and there are some good ones. You know, we've had some good ones recently, like Raulito and Erica as leaders, and there's a bunch of other characters out there as well that you can throw in those teams. Then you need Mythic Gunner Andrea, so that you are effectively, I would say it feels like you're getting rewarded for claiming these characters in previous events, but it's less, I think this is less of a reward, it's almost a requirement to claim event characters now, which can, you know, obviously make the choice of the stores a little bit, you know, more difficult. But you're going to require Andrea for Acts 8 and 9. Acts 10 is going to require Julie again, this time LB1 to LB3, and I think that's it. It's not going to be any crazy roadmap requirements where it's like LB3 of a character, which I think it did need in the current events. Like you needed LB3 Ezekiel and LB3 Julie to even run the roadmaps. You don't actually require Stripes herself to be LB3, and I think Scopely know why that is. I think Scopely know why it is because the way they built her is, again, like I say, not necessarily want to get her to LB3, but we'll look at it. When it comes to the weekly missions, you can see that you're going to be able to get the bloody rockets as you progress. I don't think there was an overall amount of bloody rockets that you get from the roadmap here, so we don't know the numbers there, but I think there is here. Leveling up fighters, you can see week 1, this is going to be week 1. There's going to be one main mission, which is leveling up fighters, second main mission, which is using steel gear medals, and then a third main mission, which is using faction assault energy. That's going to be the entire week. And then, well, actually no, there's another one. Fourth main mission is going to be using doing raid battles as a faction. So it's actually going to be more missions on this event than they have on the current ones, and the current ones have 3 and this is 4. It doesn't say how many rockets again we get as a like overall completion here. Maybe it does at the end, but not too bad. The only hard one is the raid one, and that's as a faction. That shouldn't be too crazy as long as they time the tournaments a bit better. Their timing of raid tournaments during these missions for the Julie event was absolutely horrendous. Like, as in, we were not getting raid tournaments when we were meant to be getting raid battles done. Like, that just feels so bad. That just feels so bad, especially when the requirements are so high. The next one is going to be week 2, and this is going to be winning war battles. I think this is either the same or it's been boosted. 300 war wins in a single CRW weekend. I know it's not definitely improved, because I'm pretty sure it was 300 before, but I mean, it always feels so high, especially as 300 war wins is more than top milestone, and top milestone is like, not everyone's even hitting top milestone, and it's weird. Like, we've talked about it before, this is only restricting certain players within the player base from being able to get what is honestly just an event character. So it's just a debatable thing here. I think the requirements on some of these missions is just way too high. And then there's win war battles as a faction. This is absolutely fine. Obviously not too bad. Kind of standard. I think this is going to count for 2 missions, because you do get the missions for the CRWs themselves, where you get like trainers and stuff. Win raid battles without a single character dying. I think that basically means 5 characters alive at the end of the battle. Characters can die. I think they have to, if they get revived, it still counts. That's 50. Again, quite a difficult one. Again, we have to have a raid tournament there. In terms of time, it's just difficult. Some people actually do struggle to have 5 people alive at the end of the combat. Then we have SR stages, and it looks like there's going to be another 175 SR stage at the end of the month. But I mean, it might not be. It might not be. This might not be a 175 SR tournament, you know, the difficult ones, or like not the semi-difficult ones, the one where we got Paragon mods in, and it's got compensation of Paragon mod because they forgot to put it in there. But we might get another one of those. Then on to week 3, more steel gear medals. Fortunately, it's not the top tier medals, so I did see a lot of people complaining about the amount of gold gear medals that we'd have to use. So this isn't too bad. Winning raid battles again, but this time it's 200. Obviously, you don't have to have all 5 alive here again. Every week so far, we've had raid battles as requirements. The raids have to be on point, Scopely. The raids have to be on point. We can't have raid tournaments for like half a day on the last day or something. It just can't happen, which was what we got this week, unfortunately, in the current Julie event. Then there's win raid battles without a single character dying. So this isn't too bad because you're going to actually have both of these happening at the same time. This is actually not too bad. And then leveling up 500 fighters as a faction. Again, leveling up isn't too bad as a faction. Anything as a faction, just generally, the overall number isn't, you know, that high when divided between your entire faction. So it's actually generally reasonable. And every now and again, someone goes in. Like I can hit like 1,000 of these myself because I level up, you know, silver mythic, so on and so forth. So it's not too bad. If we look at the actual grey market, you can see Stripes is in here for 3,000 bloody rockets, which is the same sort of price point which we saw on Julie. Then the 4th of July, Desert Eagle's going to be in here for 6,000 bloody rockets. Then we have the Avatar. Now, I can guarantee you cannot afford 5 Gold Mythic Stripes with the 3,000 bloody rockets. The Desert Eagle and the Avatar, you can't afford all of those without buying an offer. I'd be surprised if you can afford more than just 5 copies of the character when it comes to what you can see on this screen. Generally, it's you have to pick between the character, the weapon, the avatar, which is a shame. Like I said, though, that this character isn't necessarily one you want to get to LB3. You want maybe 2 copies. There's a little sneaky thing we can do, but like I say, more info on that in the future. And then we go on to some other stuff. Attack set Days Resist Paragon mod is actually pretty good. It looks like they're going to be basically putting the ones that they had in the bullet store from the current event with, well, from the event that just finished with Ezekiel, into the same sort of like the jewel store. The price point of these is not too bad, I guess. 1,800 bloody rockets. It's about half the cost of one character. This is a guarantee mod of what you want, you know. And then we've got attack set, attack versus fast, which is like a great mod, obviously. And then attack set, attack boost Paragon mod. Pretty much attack on attack, basically. So yeah, some pretty nice guaranteed mods here. Then we have the RNG mods. Well, it's not RNG, it's attack set mods, but it's reasonably RNG. Gold Gear Medal Chance Bags, Bennies, Madeleines. This is like for leftovers. This is mainly for people who buy some of the offers. And honestly, I'd say, generally speaking, the offers for events are some of the better offers in the game. You can buy an offer from the events for like $30 and it can give you enough to just straight up get the character day 1 LB3 if you wanted to. That seems pretty decent. You can also get like some Paragon mods in there and stuff like that. I think the value of the event offers is actually really good, especially if you're someone who's willing to spend, you know. I think obviously the battle pass is up there as like the best thing. This is what the bags obviously contain. You've got the Gold Gear medals at those rates, and then you've got the Liliths and Madeline crates as well. Those are choice crates, so I don't know where they're listed, but yeah, those are the choice crates. So that's the little look at the event, what we have to do, which seems pretty significant. Submissions, 4 submissions a week. It's a little bit different. So they're making it like higher requirements. I guess potentially you could say before they did 4 weeks at 3 a week, and now they're doing 3 weeks at 4 a week. That's potentially an argument you can make. They effectively got the same overall structure. I think you're probably going to come out of this with exactly the same of the actual currency, the bloody rockets, as you probably did in the Julie event. And the prices of the stuff in the actual Mythic market seem exactly the same. Exactly the same. So yeah. But that's it for a little preview on the event itself, guys. Any thoughts from you guys in chat about the events? What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on the missions? What are your thoughts on, you know, the weapon? The weapon looks really nice. Ransack on a tough weapon. I think having Ransack on lots of different traits is actually fine. I don't think Ransack is like that broken. I think it's like almost a requirement to a certain extent in a lot of teams. So I think having Ransack weapons like that is nice, but I think you will pretty much have to buy an offer to get that weapon. But it could be worth it, like I say, it could be worth it. You can get like a $10 offer and probably pick up that weapon. What do you guys think? Are you saying that pistol is a tough weapon? I think it was a tough weapon, right? Was it not a tough weapon? Why am I thinking this is a tough weapon? It is an alert weapon, isn't it? Oh, why did I think that was a tough weapon? Maybe it's just because there's blue everywhere. Maybe it's just because there's blue everywhere. Yeah, this weapon is not tough. This weapon is not tough. It is definitely going to be alert. But it still would be the first alert ransack. Now, who would I use an alert ransack on? I think actually I have less choices now. I have less choices. I mean, it may be an Andrea if you were to use Andrea. But there aren't as many like top tier alert attack characters out there. And this is definitely an attack team weapon. Forget about the stats, obviously. Ransack is generally just an attack team thing. You can make a defensive Ransack, but a lot of the time it's an attack or support, you know, on attack teams. But yeah, you are right. It is definitely it's definitely an alert weapon, not a tough one. I don't know why I thought it was a tough one. I don't know why my brain jumped to that. But it just did. It just did. Maybe I was hoping. Maybe I was hoping. I was dreaming. Tough Ransack would be good, but it's gonna be alert. I can't think of who I'd put it in the hands of, honestly. Maybe you could put it in the hands of like Raulito, but you'd obviously miss out on like 1535s on that team. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely an alert Ransack, not a tough one. Yeah, my bad, guys. My bad. My bad. Thanks for tuning in, though, guys. Seren, Weird Girl, Mike, Valiant. What's up, Tex? What's up, Nexus? Cygnus. Thanks for tuning in. Jitballs as well. D-Maze. Engagement. Yeah, it's going to be heavy engagement. Heavy engagement. It's a pistol. I think it's... Oh, yeah, it definitely is a red weapon, for sure. The weapon looks good, to be fair. I'll wait for your vid on how many tunes I need. I mean, I can give you a little sneak peek. It's one and grade 5. That's what you need to get. But you could get messed up in the future if you don't get like LB1 or LB2 because of future event missions where it requires stripes in the roadmap. This is the thing. Hopefully, Scopely take that into account because I know she's designed. I actually know she's designed in a specific way where getting all 5 copies and combining them into LB3 is not necessarily the way you want to go. Ransack on Andrea, yeah. Some Paddy's Day Rosita. True, that one actually is pretty good. You hit like 4 characters turn 1. I see a different weapon. That's not the attached weapon on the character. It's like a separate weapon. Any there's more. Yeah, to a certain extent. To a certain extent. To a certain extent. Guess I need to do the full math again. My favorite. I think it's going to be identical to Julie, Steve, because what they've done is they've made it 3 weeks of four tier missions on the missions, like 4 requirements per week, whereas I think Julie was 4 weeks of 3 requirements a week. I think it's going to be identical. And just compare the mythic markets, honestly, first. They look identical. So if those are identical, you know the currency we're getting is probably identical too. Oh, that's the premium event. Yeah, but there is a premium event as well. I'll check the premium event out on my stream on Thursday. I'll talk about that on Thursday if someone wants me to, but yeah. I'm going to wrap up this little mini stream, guys. If you haven't hit like already, please hit like on the stream. It is appreciated. And if you want to share any of my content with your faction mates and stuff, that would be appreciated as well. That would be appreciated. Like the character preview video of Stripes, I would go and check that out. You can see why she's good though. She is going to be a tower clearing character. She's pretty much going to be the meta character for sure. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Here's the outro. Okay, so this was just a look at the Rocket Carnage event, and like I said, it looks quite similar to the current Julie event. I think this is probably going to be the gold standard when it comes to how Scopely kind of like organize their events in terms of what we have to do, in terms of what rewards we can get. I do hope that they probably like just claw back the requirements on a weekly basis for certain things. Like raids is crazy high, and war, the amount of engagement you need for not heavy amounts of rewards is pretty bad. And some people, this is the only way they're getting this, you know, currency. This is the only way they're getting this currency, because they're not spenders at all, and this is hurting them more than anyone, because most spenders will buy the good packs that exist for the event. They will buy those packs straight away before the event even like gets rolling, because it's just good enough to buy it early on, just because you're guaranteed, you know, you're going to get extra stuff regardless. But people who aren't spenders, it's hurting them. They're not maybe getting LB3 characters, and let's be honest, these event characters, they're not like tier 1. They're not tier 1. They're just, some of them are fun, some of them are just like, you know, maybe you could have a little bit of usefulness in roadmaps and stuff. This character's a bit different, but you know, some of them aren't top tier. But not getting them to LB3 or having the opportunity to do so can feel really bad. And you know, people will maybe question why they're playing if they can't, you know, actually get the characters in events. But yeah. But that's just my thoughts on that anyway. We'll see what happens in the future. They'll probably have the same sort of structure for a couple of events in a row, and then they'll review it. But my review is just, it's maybe just a bit too much. 300 attacks in like successful wins in war is more than top milestone. You know, 200 raids in a week when there aren't really even any raid tournaments is a lot. And like I say, the rewards we get for those things are not that great. But just my thoughts. Any thoughts you have on the event itself, the structure, the character, the weapon, which is an alert weapon, not a tough weapon. Let me know in the comments down below. That is the end of my video, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.